him up! Shit, I'm bleeding! How about you deal with that stress, squad? Watch out! God! It burns! Marine down! Move! Marine unconscious.
Line him up! Man down!
Watch out!
Damn! Blacked out! You know this room. Tango down!
Man down!
More signals incoming! I'm about to pass that plane down!
God! Burn! It burns!
Let's rock!
You like that, huh?
You know the drill. They can destroy.
Who else wants up?
Just to defend the balance of profit and loss. They wouldn't have flinched. That's your cue.
You like that, huh? Bring it on, you bastards! It's a drone!
Watch out! Clear!
Let's rock! Reloading! Marina touches! Who else wants some?
Move on!
Contact!
Let's get that door cracked.
It's a drone!
Hurry up, squad!
Line him up! Ah, it hurts!
I think you're close to a Praetorian. Squad, tread light. We're spotted! Let's rock! Ah, my arm!
Hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
We're a team, and there's nothing to worry about. We come here, and we're going to conquer, and we're going to take some. Is that understood? Yes, sir. That's what we're going to do, sweethearts. We are going to go and get some. Hey. All right, people, on the ready line. Are you me? Yeah! Are you me? Yeah! What are you? Hudson! Get on the ready line, Marine! Get something to die! Get on the ready line!
Yo!
Move it up! Move it up, goddammit! Get hot! 1, 2, 3! Oh, get out! Get out! Get out! Move it up! 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 1, 2, 3! 4, 5, 9! Absolutely badasses! Let's pack them in!
Welcome everyone, it's Facehugger Friday. You know what that means, more Xenomorph content. Today we're continuing our chat with the Alien franchise. We're going to be talking about Alien Covenant, the sequel to Prometheus and the prequel to the other Alien movies, and the second film of a trilogy directed by Ridley Scott. But before we get into the recap as I remember it, got a small favor to ask. If you enjoy this kind of content, or if you're a huge Alien fan like myself, please subscribe. It is a small click for you, but a big click for me. Your support for the channel means more to me than you'll ever know. Alright everybody, let's get into this recap here. Alien Covenant as I remember it, as well as we're going to talk about some of the upcoming interviews and some new kind of tidbits and information that's been hitting the internet there about Ridley Scott's new Alien film.
Come on, team.
So Alien Covenant, direct sequel, some people don't like Alien Covenant. This is another one of my guilty pleasure movies. I love this movie. I'm a huge fan of the prequel trilogy, which I really hope we actually do get to see how it ends. Like, I want to see David's trilogy end. I've kind of like nicknamed it the David trilogy because he was actually really like the main character, even though he was kind of a main / sub character in Prometheus. He's kind of the same thing here, but this is really his story and his trilogy. So just like in Prometheus, the movie starts off with Peter Weyland speaking to his newly activated android that he's called David in his little like mansion or like building in his little just like area. There's some like cool virtual reality effects happening in the background, but he calls him David, which I don't know if there's any kind of just like religious symbolism there, but who knows. It was really it was never really explained if there was or not, because I was just thinking like first in the Bible, the first man that was created was Adam, which definitely wasn't the name David, so I don't really think it has anything to do with it, but I feel like he names him David after the Michelangelo statue. And here he was talking about how David's just like the closest thing to a son that he'll ever get, or maybe that was in the first one. I don't really remember too much, but the big part of this scene that you really remember is he's asking David to like walk back and forth, and then he's telling David to play some music, and he plays what does he play? Valhalla, Entry into Valhalla, something like that, but he plays this kind of like heroic orchestra piece on the piano, and then him and Peter Weyland, they start having this conversation about just like wanting to meet mankind's maker, and David says something along the lines of like, you'll die and I won't, because I'm going to live forever because I'm an android, because I'm not human. And then like Peter Weyland literally just tells David to start pouring tea for him. He's got this kind of like sour look on his face. He's not happy at all with what like David said about how David's going to live forever and Peter's eventually going to die, because that's just the nature of humans. So just that part right there kind of is showing that like David kind of has like resentment for his creator, and we see what happens in like Prometheus with that there too, where he actually contributes to like Peter Weyland's death. As long as you don't believe that like the Alien versus Predator storyline where Peter Weyland died back in the 90s in that temple in Antarctica during that movie, but like we're just gonna pretend that isn't really canon to what's happening right now. So in the year 2014, this movie takes place 10 years, 15 years, something like that. It takes place like 10 to 15 years after Prometheus, and like we zoom in on the colonization ship called Covenant, and it's on its way. I think it's like 7 years out, maybe 5 years out, on its way from reaching its destination planet, which is like Orgai 6. It's got like 2,000 colonists and a bunch of like human embryos in storage, because like they're looking to restart on this like new planet, which they've got like survey equipment and just like geologists and like survey teams and all sorts of like different things, so they can go kind of like terraform this planet and just like colonize it for mankind's restart. Doesn't really explain if like Earth is a shithole or if just like Earth is overpopulated or what's kind of really happening with Earth. Like if you follow Alien Resurrection and Resurrection, Jonah or Jonas, he said that like Earth is a shithole. So like I'm just only assuming that like they're fleeing Earth just because like they've destroyed it and it's just not livable anymore. So the entire crew is kind of in just like cryo sleep, and the ship is being monitored by Walter, which is the exact same model as David. It's just had some upgrades and some parameters put into place to kind of just like make it a little bit more advanced. So he's kind of just like going around, monitoring the ship, checking on everybody, checking the vitals of the crew, checking the vitals of the colonists, disposing of embryos that have died in cold storage. We see like 1 or 2 die in that cold storage there. He isn't doing anything fun like playing basketball or like watching movies or like cutting his hair or anything like that, like we got to see David do in the first one. So during this time, there's a neutrino burst of energy from a nearby star that hits the ship a few times and damages it. So like Walter starts to like wake up the crew because he needs all of them, but the ship's captain, who I think is played by James Franco, and if it's not James Franco, it's an actor that looks identical to James Franco. I'm pretty sure it's James Franco. He's actually like, he can't get out of his pod, so they're trying to like crack it open with these like space crowbars and things like that, but he actually ends up getting incinerated in his pod while he's still in like stasis because like the cryopod starts malfunctioning. So like I think he only has like 4 lines of dialogue in the entire movie, and you actually get to just see that dialogue through a video. So like while like the ship's like the crew's just like sad, the new captain, like the second in command, he takes over, and he's kind of a dick. Like he's kind of just like pushing his like authority onto the crew and trying to like force respect as opposed to like earn it. So it's just like he doesn't even let them bury the new captain. He literally is just like, okay, we need to start repairing the ship, we need to make sure we don't lose any more colonists. So like, yeah, everybody like get to work, like dismissed. And so like before they actually get to repairing the ship, we're introduced to Daniels, and she's pretty much going to be our like main character. She's going to be a little bit different than Elizabeth Shaw. Elizabeth Shaw was more kind of like an archaeologist, strong in her own ways, where Daniels is more kind of I don't want to say like a Ripley wannabe character, but she's definitely she definitely gives off like Ripley vibes for sure to me. Like I'm not complaining about that. Like Ripley's a fantastic character who literally showed that female characters are badass and they're tough and strong, and she literally inspired like a bunch of female actresses, which like at the time when those movies were made, there wasn't a lot of parts for just like strong leading heroic women roles. So it was a fantastic portrayal by Sigourney Weaver that really helped kind of like shape her career. And so Daniels is the Sigourney Weaver Ripley of the movie. But she's just like watching videotape of just like her husband. Like they're super sad, so they actually do like a makeshift funeral for him by jettisoning his body out of the airlock and having a couple drinks and just like saying They're like goodbyes. And then like the captain, the new captain, I don't even remember his name. I feel like it's Orem. I'm pretty sure it's Orem. He's just like super pissed and talking to his wife, because he's just like, they literally just like, they don't respect me. They disobeyed a direct order, and if they don't respect me, then I can't lead them. And his wife was just like, hey, you know, like, he just died. They're literally just burying him, like, calm down. So he's kind of got like some kind of chip on his shoulder. So Tennessee, played by Danny McBride, I believe that's the actor's name. He's outside repairing the ship, and while he's repairing the ship, they actually pick up on this signal coming from a nearby planet, and it kind of sounds like a human's voice. So he goes back inside after he repairs the solar blankets. I forget what they're officially called, but like, while Walter was doing a recharge so they could get more power, that's what like the neutrino blast ruined, was a lot of the solar panels. So they're breaking, they're just like breaking down the transmission that they get, sending it through filters and stuff, and it's Elizabeth Shaw singing
Hurry up, you slugs!
that "Take Me Home Country Road" song by like John Denver, and they trace the signal to to a planet, and they decide that, okay, you know, like there's a human voice there, like why is there a human this far out? And they're like, could it be bouncing off something? And they're just like, no, it's originating from this planet. So then they start doing all these scans and everything on it, and it's got like oxygen and vegetation that kind of resembles Earth, and then like the captain's just like, okay, like we should go investigate, like this planet sounds perfect and we're right here, like it's too good to be true. But like Orem also has like a lot of kind of just like faith, and he brings it up all that time, and he says like when he says something just like when like something's like presented, like I forget how it goes, but he's pretty much just saying it's just like that God has like brought him to this planet on purpose. And Daniel, she's objecting and protesting as just like second in command, because everybody has been training for like Orgai 6, and they don't know nothing about this planet. And if it's an exact resemblance to Earth, like how did they miss it? Like why didn't this planet show up sooner? So like he notes the objection, and they just decide to go down anyways with like a team. A couple stay, I feel like three or four of the crew member stay up on the ship, and then the rest go down to investigate. So Tennessee stays up with the ship there, because he's pretty much just like the main, I don't know, I guess he's just like the main pilot, even though he was doing the repairs a minute ago. So they're leading an expedition team down there, and they're trying to get closer to the signal of like the crashed ship, or of just like, they're trying to get closer just to like the signal. They don't know if it's a crashed ship or anything quite yet. But then they land down, and then they're saying like, hey, we should go over there, because that like all those trees and everything are knocked down. So like when they go over there, they see the engineer ship, and they go inside, and I think at this point inside, somebody, two of the crew members stay, because like they find this little swampy patch of water, and they find what resembles grain and earth vegetation, and Orem says something just like, ye who have little faith, and Daniel's still like super skeptic, And like before, she was sad and crying about how like there's a bunch of wood in the storage, and they were going to build a she's talking to Walter, saying that like her and her husband, they were going to build a log cabin down by the lake, and they had all the spots picked out. And she asks Walter if Walter would help her, and Walter's saying just like yes, he will help her. And so one of the crew members walks off to have a smoke or take a shit or something. I forget what he actually makes an excuse of, and he steps on these kind of like smoke-filled, kind of like puffy sacks, and this black kind of like insect, like multiple kind of like insect swarm parasite goes into his ear, and like goes into his ear canal and into the skin, and then kind of like starts spreading. And then the other group, while they're walking through the ship, one steps on one of those kind of like smoke-filled sacks again, and the parasite goes up into his nose. So there's already kind of just like some like crazy shit starting to happen. They make the observation that like the planet is like deadly silent. There's no like birds or insects or like wildlife or anything. There's like nothing making noise. It's just them walking through the forest to get to this alien ship. I forget who finds it. I think it's Daniels, but somebody finds Elizabeth Shaw's what the fuck's it called? Kind of like ID card. And they're talking about how it's just like Elizabeth Shaw was on the Covenant that disappeared like 10 years ago. And they're just trying to figure out like, they're just like, how the hell did she make it all the way out here? Which like they don't know, so they decide it's just like, hey, like we're gonna go back to the ship. Then while they're like walking back to the ship, one of the crew members collapses. So they start dragging him back because he's just like coughing and just like puking up, like I think he's puking up like black goo or black sludge or something like that. But then like the crew member that was with Orm's wife grabbing, helping get the bacteria kind of like cultures for research, he falls down with the same symptoms. So like she helps him up and brings him back to the ship, while the other ones are trying to make their way back to the ship as well too. So there's what is her name? Is her name Karen? I feel like her name might be Karen. So like she helps him back to kind of like the med bay in the landing where Ferris, who's Tennessee's wife, is in there as well, and they're both doing they're both kind of just like helping him out, and he's just like convulsing and coughing, and his eyes are like rolling into the back of his head, and they're trying to do like vitals and stuff, and they got their shirt off, and they've got his shirt off, and Ferris is just like looking out from the back, and she actually sees that like his back starts like splitting open, and just like something's kind of just like ripping, starting to like tear out of his back. So she's just like, I'm gonna go get help, and she locks them in there together, and then he starts like convulsing even more, and then like his back starts to rip open, and then he does this like crazy contorted like backwards like fall over, like he literally just kind of like folds backwards, and like the human body spine, like it doesn't bend that way, so he literally does like a 90-degree bend over, like at the waist, but not forward, backwards, and then out just like explodes this little tiny neck, what are they called? They're not called Xenomorphs. Neomorphs. It was a Neomorph that came out, and these ones look a little bit different. They've kind of got some spikes on its back. They've got a little tail. Their skin is pale white. They're like super aggressive though. They're like over the top aggressive. So it bursts out of his back, and it starts which it just kills them. Like you don't survive from just like a back burster. That's kind of like what I nicknamed them, because they're not bursting out of their chest, they're bursting out of the back, so I call them the back burster. And then like it goes over and it just starts just like tearing like Karen apart, and just like Ferris walks in there and tries to like kill it, but she like slips all over the blood, and she's just like terrified and runs out. And then like the creature is following her, and she was just kind of like trying to kill it with this shotgun, and she hits some kind of like explosive tanks that are in the ship. And then like the ship starts to explode as like the rest of the people are there, and like she stumbles out of the ship like on fire as it's exploding up. People are running there, and like Daniels like tackles Orm because he's just like running into the fire to try to like save everybody there, because like he doesn't know like what's happening. And so like at this point they're kind of all just like huddled together, and like shit is starting to go down, and I feel like it's like half an hour into the movie when like shit's starting to go down, which it isn't one of these like slow burns. It kind of just like gets right into it, where you're just kind of like, what is happening? Like, what are these creatures? Where are they from? They're not like your traditional Xenomorphs. And then like while they're kind of just like there, another one of like the Xenomorphs bursts out of the other infected crew member's mouth. I feel like it was trying to like get out of its chest first, but it couldn't make its way through, so it just like burst right out of its mouth, and just kind of just like runs off there, and it just like instantly kills that guy. And then more and more of the creatures start coming in to attack the rest of the crew, and one of them is going to attack Daniels, but like Walter knocks it down, and then like he like punches his hand right into his mouth, and like Walter loses his hand from just like the creatures just like, I don't know if it has like acid for blood or if it has just like a weaker kind of acid, but like he just loses his entire hand from it right there. And some of the other so like some of the crew might have killed one of them. It's hard to tell if like one actually gets killed or if they just kind of shoot it and then like it runs off, but some of the other crew members are getting killed as well. And then as like more and more are charging in to the more to kill the group, like a giant flare gets sent off, and we see kind of just like a robed figure standing there, and he pretty much pulls a Terminator. He like sticks his hand out and he's like, "Come with me if you want to live. They'll be back soon." So they just like start following him, and this robed figure leads them to this gigantic temple-like city, and you're looking at it from the outside, and it definitely looks like it's some engineer technology happening right there. So like they're being led to like an engineer city where like when they're walking through it, they see all these kind of like dead humanoids in like twisted positions, and just like when you look upon them, they were the engineers. So something has just kind of like eradicated all these engineers. And then like when they get inside, he takes his hood off, and it's David. He's got some long kind of he's got like some long hair there. You can tell he's been there for a while, and he tells them that like him and a survivor, Elizabeth Shaw, they arrived at the planet, and the ship accidentally like released its payload, which had like all the pathogen in it, and it killed like everything on the planet. And then like Elizabeth like died in the crash. I'm pretty sure this is when he says it.
Double time.
But at this time, they're also trying to reestablish contact with Covenant, and it's just like there's some crazy storms happening, which is making it very hard. And they eventually get through, and Daniels tells Tennessee that his wife Maggie, I'm pretty sure her name was Maggie and her last name was Ferris. She didn't make it, that she was killed, so he's like pretty devastated about it. And then she's saying it's just like, we need you to come get us. There's been a terrible accident down here. Like, we were wrong about this planet. Like, so they're and then like they kind of lose contact with them for the storm. Well, actually, like before all this, like Maggie actually calls Tennessee to be like, we need help, there's so much blood, I don't know what to do, and she was really scared. And then like she lost contact, and Tennessee is just like getting closer and closer to the planet. And then he's asking Mother, the ship's AI, be like, how close can we get before like the storms in the atmosphere? So he's just like, bring us closer, bring us closer, bring us closer. And so he gets as close as they can before like they reestablish contact. And then he actually like breaks protocols by going even closer into the ion storm. And he gets like the other crew members to help him. But throughout this entire time here, it's just like David has cut his like they've Captain Oram told him about. It's just like we're on like a colonist mission to Orgai 6, and we've got like this many colonists, and we're doing this, and we picked up on the radio signal, and that's why we're here. And David at this time cuts his hair to look a lot like Walter, so it's just kind of like he also says like welcome brother to him before, and then they like David's playing just like the flute and stuff, and just like talking to Walter about just like symphonies. He has like symphonies and he's not allowed to create, and Walter's just like, you scared people, so like we made some changes because you were too human or something like that. I forget the entire dialogue. But they go into like David's kind of just like his like office about how he's kind of been like cataloging all the different species and just like trees and stuff on like the planet, because like devil, like the idle hands are like the devil's play thing. And he's at like Elizabeth's grave, and he's talking about how he's just like, he loved Elizabeth just the same way that like Walter loves Daniels, and then Walter's just like, we're incapable of love. And then like David's just like, well, what do you call your missing hand? And then Walter's just like, duty. And then just like David's just like, yeah, we'll see about that. I don't really believe that. There's like a lot of just like dialogue here, but like the one thing that really is kind of like disappointing about the whole movie is like you're never really fully exposed to like Shaw's death. You just see David's drawings, and you have to watch like some short films. I'm pretty sure they're still on YouTube. The short films about like what happened to Elizabeth Shaw, and I'm pretty sure, from what I remember, I could be wrong, David killed Shaw, and he used her body and her organs to mix it with the black goo pathogen, and that's how he created the face huggers and like the xenomorphs is with Shaw's body and her organs. I'm pretty sure that's what that short film goes through. But like as they're talking back and forth, we actually have like a Xenomorph kind of infiltrate the temple, and he kills one of the crew members while she's kind of just like washing her face all by herself, and it pretty much just like rips its head right off, or it rips her head right off and just like lays it in the water. And as it's eating her body, like David stumbles upon it, and he starts to try to communicate with it, and then Captain Orem is just like, he's got his gun pointed right at the Xenomorph, and David's just like, no, we're going to try to communicate with it. So he just like says something. It's just like, blow on the nostrils of a horse and it will trust you forever. And then so like he does that, and then Orem kills it, and you actually get to see kind of like its double little kind of like inside mouth that looked a lot like the Deacon from Prometheus. I'm pretty sure it was called the Deacon. The creature at the end of it there that came out of the infected engineer. And then Orem was just kind of like, okay, you need to tell me exactly like what is happening here. And so he's just like, okay, just follow me, Captain, and I'll show you just like everything. And then he just like kind of like shows him. He takes him there, and he brings them through just like his kind of like research lab and downstairs, and Orem is just kind of like
Double time.
he's just completely just like going along with it. Like he doesn't even try to just like stop David or anything like that. He's just going along with it for the ride, following David. At this point, we see Daniels actually like gets a hold of Tennessee and says, it's just like, we need you to come help us, because she got a hold of them before, and then like the storm lost the signal, and that's why Tennessee went closer. So Daniels got a hold of Tennessee again, saying like, you need to come help us, like you need to send what is it called? The excavation ship from Covenant. I don't remember what it's called. You need to send that down, because like that can come get us. So you need to do that.
Where do we find the path we need for the security?
And then at this point, you see
Meticulous plan you sold us on.
They're heading our way.
you see
Move on.
you see Daniels going through
Don't mess with me.
some of David's drawings in his kind of just like his big thing, and David leads Orem down to this cave, and that's why like we first start to see David's talking about. It's just like he's become quite the cataloger, and it's just like the devil, idle hands are like the devil's playthings, and that his research has come quite stale. It was like missing something, and then he brings him down to an egg, and the egg opens up, and then like he tells Orem to get a closer look, and then like Orem's just like, what's in it? And David says like, mother.
Move your ass.
and then he gets close to it, and then like out pops just like a face hugger and attaches onto onto like Orem and does like the whole thing, and David's just like watching the entire time, just because like this is what he's been waiting for, somebody that he can actually like use the eggs on, because that was like the one thing that was missing. And so after a while, you see that kind of like the face hugger's fallen off, and Orem kind of just like wakes up, and everybody's just kind of like looking for the captain, because they don't know where it is, because like they've gone around and they found just kind of like the dead Xenomorph, and they found the body of their crew members, so they're trying to find the captain, and he gets the, it's not kind of like, it's a little bit different from the chest burster, because this one actually kind of looks like a little teeny tiny mini version of like a Xenomorph. It's almost just like a baby Xenomorph like rips out of his chest, but it's not really it's not really called like a Xenomorph. I think it's called just like the Praetomorph, or like the Protomorph, because it's slightly a little bit different. So it's kind of not, it's not like the full version of what we see in the Alien movie. So that thing like rips out of its chest, and like David kind of like stands there with his arms out reach, and like the creature does the thing, kind of just like, I don't know if it's like imprinting or just like bonding.
We should start with that group near the ventilation system. Do you know where it's operated?
Bonding with him, but like it's like at this point the others are searching for Orem, and Walter Daniels finds just like the drawings, and like pulls back up like Shaw, and it's just kind of like Shaw is just kind of like dissected and kind of like torn apart, but like we really don't get to see too much of the drawings in like better detail, but like David then kind of just like comes upon them, and he starts like attacking Daniels, and Daniels is just like, what did you do to her? And then he's just like, the exact same thing I'm gonna do to you. Now I don't know if this line right here is foreshadowing anything, but I really hope it does. And after we finish recapping, we're going to get back to that line, because I have a theory. And when we start chatting about what Ridley Scott and what the actress that plays Daniels has talked about, then like we can kind of go through just like the speculations and the theories there.
Come on, team. Hurry up, you slug.
But like at the so when like he's going to kill Daniels, like Walter steps in, and they start doing this this kind of like synthetic like hand-to-hand kind of like combat fight. Oh no, wait, but before this, when Orem gets the face hugger on him, Walter walks in and starts talking to him about Elizabeth Shaw, talking about how it's just like, you killed her or something, and then David was just like, I loved her. And then they have like a little bit of a conversation, and then David stabs something into Walter's neck, and it literally just kind of like short circuits him, and kind of he just like shuts down. And then we see that it's like Walter's neck is pushing something out of it, and then he kind of just like walks away, and then like, I don't remember if that's before the chest burster or after, but all of this is kind of just like intertwined, and anyways, and then there's I'm pretty sure that was before. And then the chest burster happens, and then he finds Daniels looking through all of his drawings, and then he goes to kill Daniels, but then Walter's back.
Check the body, people.
And then Walter says, and then David's just like, oh, you survived, kind of just like really shocked. And then Walter is just like, there have been some upgrades since you. Which he's more like the more superior model now. So this is when like they start fighting back and forth. And at this time, the one of the crew members gets like a face hugger attacked, and then another one kind of just like cuts it off of him, and then the it just kind of like burns acid on its face. And now the fully grown kind of alien kills the crew member that just cut the face hugger off of his face, and the other guy escapes and then meets up with Daniels. In Tennessee, he's flying down just like the cargo lift, so they're kind of running across like the kind of like the courtyard where all the dead engineers are, and they're setting up this kind of beacon. And then Walter and like David, they're still fighting, and it's just like David's got a knife, and Walter's with one hand is fighting David, and then like Walter's actually overpowered David. And then you see David reaching for a knife, and Walter's about to smash David, and then like the camera cuts away. So we don't really know what's happening there, but as the cargo lift is coming down, the Tennessee is flying. Walter starts to run to the beacon that Daniels has set up, and then we see that like the alien starts chasing them as well. So like the cargo lift comes down, and they jump onto the cargo lift, and then so does the new Praetomorph. I'm pretty sure it's called like the Praetomorph. It jumps onto the cargo lift as well. So like Daniels is going out fighting and just like trying to like fight it, and they use just like the vents to kind of blast it out from hiding, and they've got like some different weapons, and she grabs like the cargo lift arm and kind of just like swings it around, and she uses that to capture the Praetomorph and just like crush it and killing it. And then Walter grabs her and just like brings her back inside, and then they start to like return to the Covenant, and then in the next scene we see they're trying to patch that guy's face up with like some synthetic skin, and just like Walter's there helping. He's only got like the one hand. And then just like Daniels goes away to go to bed, and like Tennessee does the same thing too. And then like the next morning we see like the remaining husband and wife, I don't remember their names, they're having just like a shower, and then the mother, the alarm starts going off and wakes everybody up, talking about like what did they say? Like foreign hostile life on board or something like that. It's pretty much saying that there's just kind of like an alien presence on board that shouldn't be there, and they're just kind of like going around. And
More signals incoming.
I don't remember if they actually like find the body that the new Praetomorph has exploded out of.
They're heading our way.
Or if they don't, but that's how it came. Is it ripped out of the guy's body that had like the acid sprayed on his face. And then it actually goes to like the showers where like the husband and wife, they're showering, kills both of them. There's just like blood everywhere. And so it's going around like the entire ship, and Daniels and Tennessee find their 2 bodies, and they're asking Walter to be like, where is it? Can you pinpoint it? So it's just like, Walter, close off all these things, open this door, we're gonna go fight it in the terraforming bay, because like that's her home turf. Did you see like Daniels doing some repairs and just kind of like tightening up like the slack of the loaders and everything. So it's following them in there, and Daniels kind of like suits up, and she says like we're gonna open the airlocks and we're gonna blast into outer space, because you can't finish an alien movie if you're not blasting the alien creature into outer space. Like that's just how you have to do it.
Cut that door open.
Breaking the well.
So like there's like kind of just like a cat and mouse kind of like back and forth chase, and Daniels actually gets like the Xenomorph stuck inside one of the things, inside one of the like the big construction machines. Kind of looks like a dump truck, and it starts to go into outer space, because like they cut the slack, so everything's going into outer space. But then like it jumps off, and Daniels is standing right there. It's kind of just like bait, because it's crawling up the edge, and then just as it leaps, Daniels kind of just like jumps down into kind of just like this little kind of like crevice, and then the kind of just like the bulldozer machine that was behind the dump truck just like impales the fully grown alien, and it goes flying into outer space. And they like close it up, and they got this moment where it's just like we did it. And then they're going into into cryo sleep, and then like Tennessee, he was already out. Walter's putting Daniels into like the cryo sleep, and like she's in the pod, and he's about to hit sleep, and Daniels goes, Walter, wait, when we get to Origai 6, are you still going to help me build my cabin? And then just like Walter looks at her weird, like, I don't know what you're talking about, and then she starts banging the cryopod, screaming no, because she realizes that like David actually killed Walter and like took over. He just like changed clothes and stuff, and he took his place. So Walter's dead, and David now is in control of the Covenant, and like of all the colonists and the embryos. So he opens up cold storage, and he plays Entry into the Gods Valhalla or something like that. He gets that to be played, and then he kind of goes there, and he just kind of like pukes up these kind of like little like face hugger embryos, and he puts them in cold storage, and then he sends a transmission stating that all the crew except for Daniels and Tennessee were killed by the solar flare incident. And they're continuing their mission to like Origai 6, which like that right there, like I think that is the biggest cliffhanger ending I've ever experienced for a movie, where it's just kind of like there's so many different options that they can go in that direction, where Ridley, so that was Covenant. Like definitely watch the movie for sure, because like it was fantastic. Like I know a lot of people hate on it, a lot of people give like Prometheus and Covenant kind of like flack, where it's just like I love that movie. I don't like me, it's just like I'm such a huge fan of the franchise and like the creature designs that they bring forth, where they could literally redo the entire movie over and over and over and over again and not really give us anything new, but just some slightly different stuff that's already been retold, and I would still watch it. Like, I love those kind of movies so much where Prometheus, I knew it wasn't an alien movie. It was just something totally different. People just kept marketing it as a new alien movie, where I don't even think Ridley Scott planned on tying that movie into like the Alien franchise. Like, I could be wrong. I got to dig up some old interviews and kind of just like go through them. But then like Covenant was kind of just like answering more and more questions about just like, where did this creature come from? And I don't necessarily think that you ever had to answer that, because I think that's one of the more like terrifying things about it. It's just like, where did this creature come from? Like in the original movie, you've got that engineer ship with a bunch of, like, I think they said like Kane said he saw hundreds or thousands of eggs, where it's just like, where do they get all these eggs from? Like, did they harvest a planet? Is it a transportation for something? Like what? Like, where did the eggs come from? So I never really think that answering the where and the why was necessary, but it's good that we're getting kind of like these ones. So with the success of Alien Romulus, Ridley Scott actually said that he's going to do another Alien movie, and fans are speculating that that it's going to actually be the ending of his trilogy that like he set out for. It's going to finish off like the David trilogy, based on some of the interviews. And then the actress that plays Daniels, Catherine Waterston, I think that's her name. Don't quote me on that. She actually did like a recent interview about how she would love to work with Ridley Scott again, and she would love to reprise her role of Daniels and that character, and like, she doesn't know like how her character would be there, if her character would die off screen, or if her character would be there, or what would be happening. So I do think that we're kind of leaning towards that we might actually get to see how this whole trilogy ends, which, like, I really think that would be fantastic if we could actually finally get that, because then like it would close that kind of that story arc, that chapter, whether people wanted to say it's canon or not. If somebody wanted to do something different completely, it's just kind of nice to give closure to all those characters, because like right now they're floating in space doing nothing. They're just still kind of there. And so like with that, the earlier line where Daniels asks what he did to Shaw, and David says the exact same thing I'm going to do to you, like, I think that could be some foreshadowing there. But Ridley Scott has actually come out and said, like, if her character survived or died off screen, like, that would be the mystery, to where he even said that he wouldn't want to know how that character died, that she would just be kind of like gone off screen, saying it was just like Tennessee. Or like, I have different theories, I have different things that I would like to see happen as kind of just like an Alien fan of the franchise and a fan of Covenant, where I would actually like to see David take Daniel's body and experiment with her and create either a queen Xenomorph that hasn't quite evolved into the queen, kind of just like the stage 1 of the queen, kind of like the Praetomorph that they had, but be like a Praeto queen, or use her body to create the queen face hugger, and then put that face hugger on Tennessee and let Tennessee give birth to the queen Xenomorph that is Daniels. Like, that like that David used Daniel's organs and like body and experimented with to create that face hugger. Like, I think that would be like a crazy direction that they could go in with it, which would be, it'd be fucked up, it'd be sick, it'd be twisted. I think it'd be a great, really direction to go back into the body horror that the original Alien almost was, just like that kind of that shock value, and just kind of like the graphicness of it, where like they're on their way to Orgai, that planet, to the colonists, to where like this movie would be projected probably like 20 years from the events of that one, providing that we don't get too close to the alien, providing that like it doesn't overlap, because you can't have it so far in the future that it overlaps timelines with the current Alien, with like the timeline that's been established in Alien, so you can't really have it doing that. But I think that if they actually sent out like rescue vessels, and even they could even send out just like the Colonial Marines, or even just like more like Weyland, maybe have like the Weyland security force be sent out there, because maybe it turned out that like Covenant was like a Weyland vessel that we just weren't really told about, or it's just like it was like a Weyland project about just like recolonizing mankind, the human race on like a different planet there. So it could have been something like that, where the storyline is just like Covenant hasn't checked in, and they're way overdue from their like initial kind of just like check-in points. They haven't done any of their checks, so it's just like, okay, did everybody die, or like what is happening with that right there? So they send out like kind of like a new investigation like security team to check to make sure that like everything's okay. And when they get to the planet, they see that like they can find like the wreckage of Covenant. They just find like the bodies of like the colonists, and they literally just come down to like a completely cocooned hive planet, where like David has been able to use like the bodies of the colonists to actually create his like perfect life form, because he even said that he's not going to give the human race a chance to restart on a different planet. Like that was his mission. He wanted to see them wiped out. It's like, I think you could totally get there. And David, I don't necessarily think like David would have to be in one piece. Like he could be the creator, where his creations have turned on him, and he could just be like ripped in half by like Bishop, or he could have made it so that like he's been like intertwined with the hive, where like he's just kind of like in the center of it all, not necessarily like controlling the hive, but being a part of the hive. Something crazy like that. It could be fun to see. It could be fun to explore. There's so many different angles that they could go with it right there. And with the rumors surrounding Ridley Scott that he's going to do, that he's going to finish his original trilogy with like the David arc, like that's really exciting. I really hope they do, and I just really hope they put everything on the table. They don't hold back. They just go like crazy to the wall with this one. Kind of just like lay it all on the table. Don't have any regrets. Just say like, hey, you know what? Like we're gonna be doing this. This is gonna be our last hurrah. we're going to make it fantastic. We're going to make sure that everything we want to say, want to cover, gets said, gets covered. Like we don't want to have any just like regrets or anything like that. So I think if they win, only time will tell if like what exactly he does. Like maybe another thing too is just like he could follow suit with what Romulus did. Instead of making a sequel to Romulus, maybe he makes a sequel to James Cameron's Aliens. Like, that queen is still floating around in space, and like she could have like crystallized herself just for like overall protection and survivability, and maybe he follows suits with that. Like we don't really know exactly what's up his sleeve and what direction they're going to be going in. Which that's okay, because I'm like, I have a feeling that like this will probably be Ridley Scott's last Alien movie. I don't see him revisiting the franchise after this last one right here that he's going to be doing, and that's why I really hope he does this kind of like this last big hoorah, kind of just like an over the top kind of like crazy movie. I would even just like, I would love to write a script and just send it to him and be like, hey man, I'm a nobody, like I'm just a fan of the movies, like here you go, here's a fun script, love it, hate it, whatever, like just like here's some ideas. But like that'll never happen. I just have to keep writing like my little fanfics and posting them online when I get them done for people to read them. If I had more time and was actually good at animating, I would animate them into little kind of like 10-minute short videos, but I gotta figure out a way that like, I don't know, like AI or something can animate them, or yeah, like I don't know, like a company can do it, or I can figure out a way to make it a passion project and do it in my free time, which will take like 20 years to get it done. So we're not going to make it a passion project. Yeah, and like I also do love that like the Alien franchise, it's getting a lot of love, like Alien Earth, that series that I thought was canceled because you didn't hear anything about it. You heard a little bit about it, and then like it went away, and then it came back, and then it went away, and it's going to be like on FX, and then it's going to be on Hulu, and then it just got shut down. It wasn't coming, so it's actually nice that it's going to be coming in 2025. Not too much is known about that. People speculated that it was going to follow more of like the Weyland company, and it was going to be set 2 years before the events of Alien. So like, and it's supposed to take place on Earth, so I have no idea like what direction they went with this. Only time will tell for sure. The Alien franchise future is looking bright. Lots of great projects coming, new games, new TV series, potentially new movie. No idea when the new movie is going to come, but I'm going to be keeping like tabs on anything that I can find about it. More kind of just like secrets and kind of more just like tips on what's going to be coming for that movie, because like I'm pumped for it. But just wanted to thank everybody for listening to my recap, for just like my thoughts and feelings on the directions that I would love to see the new movie go in the franchise. But just wanted to thank everybody for watching. This was another episode of Facehugger Friday. I'm going to get out of here. We got some exciting action coming up, so definitely sit back, crank up the volume, listening to that. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me out. We do Facehugger Friday every single Friday. So be sure to turn on notifications so you never miss one of those uploads. Enjoy this. There's a super awesome cutscene at the end of the video, and we'll be back with some more Xenomorph fun next Facehugger Friday.
Grenade!
Warrior in sight!
Shit! I'm out! Incoming! Grenade! Warrior in sight! Jetpack! Bring him down! Nicely done, folks. I think it was the last one. Right now. Packing sentry gun. Sentry packed. Safe position taken. Careful, people. Stress kills you just as well as a bullet.
Move on. More signals incoming. Double time.
All right, Marines. Lock and load. These mercs you're fighting, they're ready for a big, bloody last stand.
They're heading our way.
Bring them down! How about you deal with that stress, squad? Tango down!
More signals incoming.
Right now. Let's see what's inside. Light him up!
Focus fire on target!
Grenade! Something's not right. Who else but us? Careful. Stress kills you just as well as a bullet.
Move on. They're heading our way. Move! Move!
Sir, are you okay? These were your men after all.
My men? I wish they were. Those are Price's men. Sooner or later, she would have sent those poor bastards out to die. Just to defend the balance of profit and loss. They wouldn't have flinched. That's your cue, folks.
They're heading our way.
Incoming!
Looks like they found us.
Let's rock!
Who else wants some?
Watch out, critters!
I don't want to die on this rock!
Reloading. Under heavy fire. Man down, man down!
More signals incoming.
Affirmative. How about you deal with that stress, squad? Looks like you're clear. Good job, people.
Here you go. Good as new.
Come on, team. Hurry up, you slugs!
How about you deal with that stress, squad?
They're heading our way.
Safe position taken. Grenade!
I have multiple signals. Kill that bastard!
Tango down.
I have multiple signals.
Let's get that door cracked.
Cut that door open.
Open up sesame. Let's see what's inside. Door clear.
That console should give you access to open the terrace doors.
Move on. Move! Move!
Roger.
Guys, let's get the fuck out of here!
I really love this gun.
They're heading our way! Deploying sentry gun.
Doors are opening. Any sign of a way to shut off the turrets?
Negative.
Stern?
I guess I was wrong. They must be isolated. We have to hack them manually. But we couldn't do that with the doors, could we?
Reloading.
I think you're close to a Praetorian. Squad, tread like
I really love this gun.
Let's rock! Grenade! You like that, huh?
They're heading our way. More signals incoming. Looks like they found us. They're heading our way.
Warriors in sight! Mine's bigger. Incoming!
Looks like they found us.
Grenade!
Let's rock!
careful. Stress kills you just as well as a bullet.
Come on, team!
Looks like you're clear. Good job, people.
On my way. Packing sentry gun.
Sentry packed.
Double time!
Don't move. Gonna fix you up best I can.
I have multiple signals.
There you go.
On my way.
I have multiple signals.
Can we breach that door?
You really want them to place a C4 while the dropship's still buzzing around?
Right. Let's take care of the turrets first. Hunslet, wait for our signal. We're shutting those things off the hard way. Keep your heads down.
Move on. Game over, man! Game over! More signals incoming.
It's a drone. Face it. We're doomed.
Light him up!
God! Burn! It's burn!
Watch out!
Tango down. Action.
First turret disabled.
Move! Move! They're heading our way.
Let's rock!
Ah! Burn! Burn! Watch out!
You like that, huh?
They're heading our way. Move on.
On it. Don't move. Gonna fix you up best I can. All right, let's see what's in there.
There's something around.
Second turret's down. Time to join the party, Hunslet.
Hello there, good looking. Might I have this dance?
they found us.
Light them up! We knocked them hard!
More signals incoming! Hurry up, squad!
Xeno in approach!
Final stretch. Let's get this done.
Copy.
Suppressive fire! Line him up!
How about you deal with that stress, squad?
Watch out, Critter!
This is at the end of the hallway. Stay frosty.
Come on, team! Double time!
USCM, stay ahead.
Grenade!
Line him up!
Grenade! Oh yeah, don't mess with me. Grenade!
USCM, stay ahead.
Move on!
Grenade!
So, here's the thing. With the Spire on lockdown, we can't access Price's office without a biometric scan from the senior executive. You ready for your final act, Hayes?
I guess so. Hunslet, I've got a shuttle run for you. You might want to rethink that, ma'am. Those critters are everywhere out here.
Copy that. Hey, squad. Secure the landing pad so Administrator Hayes can join you up there.
There you go. Right now.
Move on!
Let's see what's inside.
Face it! We're doomed! Hurry up, you slugs! Incoming! More signals incoming!
Deploying sentry gun!
It's a drone! Suppressive fire! Bring him down!
Watch out! Tango down!
Tango down!
Grenade! Ah, it burns! It burns!
Move on!
Deploying sentry gun! Sentry almost ready.
More signals incoming! Incoming!
Grenade!
It's a drone! Let's rock! Runner, kill it! More signals incoming!
Deploying sentry gun. Sentry almost ready.
It's a drone! You wanna play tough, huh? Shit, I'm out! Tango down! Xenomorph approach! Bring them down! They're heading our way! Warrior in sight!
Reloading!
They're heading our way! Tango, straight ahead!
Grenade! Bring them down! You like that, huh?
Area secure.
Good work. All right, Michael. You're up. Good luck in there.
Move! They'll be here soon!
Move on!
On my way! Disgusting.
Packing sentry gun.
How about you deal with that stress, squad?
Sentry packed.
Disgusting.
Got him. They're looking back to me. Come and get it. I'm ready.
Ugh, hate this job.
Double time.
On my way. Let's see what's inside.
Come on, team. Access granted.
Michael, thank God it's you. Together we can fix this.
Together? After all these deaths?
If memory serves me right, you largely contributed to these casualties, Michael. You activated the Cerberus protocol, correct?
I did. I had to.
Right! You did it because you understand. You understand the companies and the general interest are one and the same. Marlowe was right. Well, before he went crazy, that is. The things he found in that mine. What they could mean for pharmaceutics, space travel, security. The applications are virtually limitless.
I wouldn't want any of that.
Then think about the revenues these creatures represent. Imagine. Space stations 100 times bigger and safer than Pioneer.
So in the end, that's what this is about? Money? Numbers? How could you be such a machine?
Really? Oh, not you, Maiko. Spare me the whistleblower lecture, will you? Who do you think I am?
A synth?
Excuse me? A synth. I've pretty much built this world. You really think a synth would have handled half of what I've done on Lethe?
It all makes sense now.
What? Maiko, listen.
Your assessments, your ploys, 2 of your teams left for dead, your extensive knowledge of the station, of the atmospheric processors.
I'm the damn director of that rock. Don't you get it?
And yet, you couldn't stop that protocol.
Would you listen to me? Everything out there, it's mine. I could have saved these people.
But you didn't! So much power, and you did nothing with it, except protecting the assets of this fucking company. We could have talked. Harper. He would have welcomed you on board, but you didn't think of that, did you? You didn't think of your own life. Not a single time, right? Do you think a human would do that?
Maiko, these assets? Marlowe's research? I don't have it anymore. It's all uploaded somewhere on the Otago. Burn it! Print it! Sell it to Seegson or the UPP for all I care. But take me with you, please.
Cassandra, where is she? Is she even alive? Do you have that stored somewhere in that carbon processor of yours?
Stop it! I am not a synth. Look, she's probably with all their prisoners. In their city, below Old Divide.
A city?
Marlowe's lair. Ancient and alien. God, he was so obsessed with that place. And then he became obsessed with her. He wouldn't keep Cassandra anywhere else. Now please, take me with you!
No.
Maiko! Look at me! I'm not a synth!
I doubt you're human either.
Maiko? Listen to me! I'm not a fucking synth! I am not a synth!